Hello and welcome to Katrina's Creations. This is my bariatric journey series that I am doing because I am having weight loss surgery. So I thought it would be fun to document it all, and a lot of you have been following every week when I post what's going on. And today I had my cardiology appointment. I did not film. Doctors kind of get a little freaked out if you bring in a camera and say, can I record our visit? So yeah, they don't like you to do that. So I didn't bring my camera with me, but I thought this would be a good time to kind of fill you in on what goes on behind the scenes, because there's some things I've had to do that I haven't really shared. Not that it's anything weird or anything like that. I just haven't told you everything. And I thought this would be a good time to catch you all up on what goes on. Now, I do want to say a disclaimer before I start, because the requirements for the surgery vary between doctors, between your insurance company, and from person to person. So, you know, I'm just sharing what I have to have done in order to meet the requirements with my insurance company. So the first thing I started out with, I had a video call with a doctor in Chambersburg. He was very nice, and I liked the group, the nurses and everything that I talked to. However, when it came to the dietary requirements, they wanted you to see a dietitian 6 months in a row, and they couldn't even start seeing me until October, which was going to be a problem because that meant I wouldn't even be through the requirements until March of next year. And part of the reason I'm having this bariatric surgery is so I can lose enough weight to have knee replacement. My knee is so bad at this point. I am literally getting cortisone shots every 3 months, and I'm using a cane because it's bone on bone and extremely painful. I kind of hobble along like a little old person. Well, I am a little old person, but anyway, I'm not that old. But so anyway, I changed to a doctor in Chambersburg who could move things through a lot faster. They didn't have as much of a wait time. So that's who I'm working with now, and I absolutely love my doctor. She's a woman doctor, which is kind of nice too. And she's just very bubbly, very personable. And I felt very comfortable in our video call talking with her. And she was like, yes, you were a perfect candidate for this. You're doing this for all the right reasons. And by the time I got off the video call with her, I felt like she was a friend as well as a doctor. She was like somebody you could sit down and chat with over a cup of tea. So I really felt comfortable, and I really liked her a lot. So they sent me a packet of paperwork. And like I said, this varies from organization, medical group. It varies from insurance to insurance. But I'm not going to show you the paperwork because it's probably copyrighted, so I don't want to do that. But I will tell you what they did send me. First, I got an initial class check-in. And what that was, I had to answer some just general questions regarding, you know, like my activity, my average calories, what I do during the day, all kinds of things like that. And I had to watch 3 videos and fill out a quiz. And then you had to email the quiz to them with your answers so that they could see that, you know, you know what you're getting into, in other words. So I did that, and then they sent me, well, the whole thing was sent at one time. I was sent a packet called nutritional homework. So this particular group requires that I meet twice with nutritionists. The first time is done by video as far as watching a group of classes, and then I meet with her online actually next Friday. So next Friday will be my appointment with her. And what you had to do is, there are 4 different diets that you will work your way through once you finish the surgery. In my case, I am having a bariatric sleeve, which means they are taking your stomach's kind of shaped pouch-wise, and they literally cut off the pouch side of it. So it's smaller. They just make your stomach smaller, pretty much. And it's stapled with, they use robotics, and they go in and they staple your stomach. So you can't start eating like heavy food right away because you could tear the staples. Plus your body has to adapt to the changes in what you're going to be eating. So you go through 4 different stages. In the hospital, you have clear liquid, and then you have a couple weeks of a full liquid diet, which full liquid just means like creamy soups, maybe Slim Fast, things like that. So you have that for a little bit of time. And then you have a pureed diet, where you have to run everything through a food processor or a blender or something so that it is very squishy, sort of like the consistency of baby food. And then you go through a period where you have a soft diet, which would be, you know, like just softer foods, but you can have more of a normal diet. And then you finally progress to the regular diet. So it takes almost a month and a half after the surgery before you're actually eating normally. You also have to make sure that because you're not eating as much calorie-wise, you have to make sure that all of those calories count. So they wanted to stress that you have protein. That has to be your first thing, is protein. And you have to drink, they want you to drink 64 ounces of water or a liquid every day. So yeah, so they have you fill out a meal plan for each of those 4 diets so that they can see that you understand how to mix the drink, you know, the liquids and the proteins and the calories and everything, so that it works right. So you had to fill all that out, and then you had to email that in to the nutritionist. So when I meet with her next Friday, she will be going over my nutrition homework to make sure I totally and completely understand what I'm going to be doing after the surgery. So I've had that to look at. So I've also had an endoscopy, which you all saw in a video. I had a pulmonary visit where I wear a CPAP, so I actually went to the doctor that does my regular CPAP checkups because I thought she knows my history anyway. And so that's to check your lungs, to make sure your lungs are okay. I've had a chest x-ray. That was all okay too. Everything was clear. I had an EKG. Everything was absolutely normal with the EKG. And then I had a cardiologist appointment today, and they said I had very good circulation all the way down to my feet. So that was really good. And yeah, they said I'm good to go. And they had no problem. The doctor's like, I'm sorry, but I won't see you again. I was like, well, you know, it was nice meeting you, but I'm glad I'm not going to be seeing you again too. So yeah, he was really nice, and he got to laughing about my name, because he says, it reminds me of, I said, the hurricane. He's like, yeah. I said, yeah, Dave threatens to wear a t-shirt, says he's still surviving Katrina. But yeah, so anyway, they gave me a checkoff list. So let me see what else I have had to do. They also gave me nutritional guidelines. So this kind of breaks down the diets for you, so you can kind of understand, and it tells you how many things of protein are in each thing and all that kind of stuff. So it helps you with your meal planning. So they gave me that. And here's my checkoff list. So I still have to get the only things I have to have still yet, the nutritional visit on next Friday. I need to get blood work, and I need to get an H. pylori test, which is like a breath test that they do to make sure there's a specific bacteria that you can have down in your lungs, and they want to make sure that you don't have that bacterial infection before surgery. So the blood work I'm holding off a little bit on, because I have my regular yearly visit with my regular doctor September 3rd. And rather than get poked twice with a needle, a lot of the blood work is the same. So I want to wait a little closer to when that appointment is, so I can get them both. They can just do it one time and get everything that they need. Yes, so yeah, that's my plan at least. So I have that's going on. And let's see, what else do I need? And I need to have a psychological evaluation. I know what you're thinking. Yes, yes. Hopefully they won't come chasing me with little nets after I'm finished with that appointment. But why they have you do that is because there are a lot of connections with food. A lot of times you get attached if you stress, eat. If you get bored and you eat. You know, if you feel lonely, some people compensate by eating. And there's just a lot of social gatherings that are associated with food and things that way. So they just want to make sure that psychologically you are ready for the changes that are going to take place. You know, if you're a person that goes out with your coworkers after work and you go out for a drink or something like that, and all of a sudden you can't do that anymore, you know, you might lose friends or social connections that way. Thankfully, in my situation, you know, I love the people I work with. We all get along and support each other and everything, but we don't tend to socialize together, and I don't drink, so I've never gone out after work and gone and done that. So that's not even really an issue for me. I am very, very blessed in that my family, all of my extended family, everybody is behind me on this. You guys who are watching me have been so encouraging. Some of you have been through this and have sent me emails or made comments that have been very encouraging to see other people are going through it. Some of you have just mentioned that you're overweight, you're waiting for knee surgery too, and you have to lose weight. And, you know, I feel like I'm not in this by myself. You guys are in there with me too. So that means a huge amount. So, yeah, and my friends are behind me 100% too. So, yeah, so I'm very excited. I am on board with this. I've started practicing with some of my eating ahead of time because I know it's going to be a big change, and I need to work up to drinking 64 ounces of water or something liquidy a day. My go-to is iced tea. I don't like water by itself. It's got to have some kind of flavor in there. I don't put sugar in or anything, but I just got to have some kind of flavor in there. I think I'm equated with every single bathroom in the several miles vicinity. It's like drink, run to the bathroom, drink, run. That's probably too much information, but you know what I'm talking about. And I take a fluid pill. So yeah, it's like, yeah, drink something and stay out of my way. It's like at work, don't block that hallway. I'm headed down to get to that restroom. So I have been doing that. I have also started keeping a food journal. It says Carp Diem underneath here just because that's what was already printed on the book. But anyway, I wrote on it, food journal. So what I have been doing every day is writing down what I am eating so I can kind of make sure. There you can see I've done some. I am keeping track of how much liquids I'm drinking, how many calories I'm taking in a day, and how much protein, because that is the big thing you have to make sure, since you can't, like I said, you can't put as much food in your body, you have to make sure that food counts. So you need to get the protein in there first. So yeah, I've been keeping track, and I think that has helped me with the weight loss I've had so far. I've had 4.5 pounds in about 3 or 4 weeks, something like that. And I think it's because I'm keeping track, because it makes me think twice before I stuff something in my mouth if I've got to write it down and own up to it. So I've been doing that. I figure it's a good thing for practice. And then one of the other things they had me do that I had to watch before they set me up for the appointment with the behavioral psychologist is I had to watch 5 pre-op videos about you know, the changes that are going to take place and the emotional changes and how to deal with you know, if you stress eat or if you know, eat out of boredom. I don't tend to get stressed very often. I'm fairly laid back type of person, so I very rarely get stressed out. But when I do get stressed out, like if something's going on with one of our parents or something, or I'm worried about something, I do tend to grab food. And so I have to be conscious of that. And I also, like in the evening, so if I've gotten everything done that needed to be done and I finally sat down and I'm watching something on TV or YouTube, usually YouTube, we don't watch TV much. There's nothing good on. But anyway, yeah, I'll watch YouTube or something and I'll be knitting or crocheting, and the temptation to reach over and grab something, not because I'm hungry, but just to nibble. So I've been trying to make a conscious effort not to do that. And when I do have some snacks, I've got a little tub that's what fits in there is what I get, and that's it. And I don't take the whole bag into the living room to sit down and eat. I put a controlled amount in that tub and take it with me so I know how much I'm eating. So that has helped some as well. So that's where I'm at right now. Once I see the behavioral psychologist and they pass me through that, that's the very last step. And at that point, they will schedule the surgery. They say it normally takes about 2 months to get the approval from the insurance company before they start. However, if it goes through faster, because they already have gotten like a pre-approval before they got started, but if it goes through faster, then I guess they just moved my date up. So yes, so I do not have a scheduled appointment yet for the psychologist. That will be coming probably after the nutritionist visit next Friday. So yeah, it's moving along nicely, and I'm excited about this. I want to thank you guys again for all the support you all have given me and encouragement. I'm waiting for the new me. So yeah, so I'm excited. I am looking forward to this. I'm ready to go. It's taken me several years to come to this part of my life where I'm finally ready to commit to doing this. I wish I would have done it sooner, but you can't go back, but I can change things now. So I want to get all this done and start my new life here. So anyway, thank you all for watching, and I will see you again on Saturday. Bye, everybody.